Hey, what's up YouTube? Back here with another video. We're going to talk about sanding. And if you're new to woodworking or even intermediate, I'm sure you've been there where you get the pigtail swirls in the wood. And they're really, really frustrating because you never see them until you're staining the table. And then you take a step back and you look at it and you realize just how terrible it looks, and you end up resanding it again to try to get them out. So I am going to show you simple techniques, 3 things to abide by, and you will not have that pigtail issue anymore, and you can have your projects coming out absolutely perfect. So I'm going to just here give you like an up close, and let's get to it. Okay everyone, everything that I need to get this tabletop to exactly the way that I want it is right here in front of us. You don't need big expensive sanders, so get that out of your head. Everything here is based on a beginning woodworker on a budget, and it works just fine. It's going to get this surface perfect. I've got 4 grits of sandpaper here, 80, 120, 150, and 220. And I've got a random orbital sander. This is a Bosch. In my opinion, this is the best budget sander on the market because I love the canister filter. I cannot stand those stupid puffy bags, and dust gets everywhere. So much of the dust gets collected here. It's really incredible, so well worth it. So the key with this is 3 things. It's speed, pressure, and going through the grits. Think of it in terms of cutting your grass. Like if you let your grass grow really, really long, and then you go out and try to cut it on your normal height, you're going to make your lawnmower bog down. It's going to work really, really hard, and the cut is not going to be as clean. You're better off going over it a few times and adjusting the blade lower. Same thing with sanding. You don't want to go from 80 to 220 because you're asking the 220 to sand this wood down, more than it's really meant to do. It's going to make it work harder, and that's how you're going to create these different marks. The key is to allow each grit to get the previous marks out. So now that we've gone over that, I've already done this surface on 80 grit, and I'm now moving on to 220. But before I even start sanding, the key now between every grit is to clean off your top of all the dust. I don't want 80 grit dust over here getting mixed up in the 120 grit sandpaper. It's just going to make everything work harder. So whether it's like your air hose or a cloth, just take it and dust off the tabletop, and then you can start sanding. And now really it's all about pressure and speed. Let the sander do its job. Let it all by itself. Just enough pressure on it to control it, guide it. Don't put it on an edge to try to get a spot that you're missing. That could show that you have a low spot and that you need to flatten it or get out a hand plane. But don't put it on its edge. And again, when you do that, not only will you create a divot, but you have a chance of creating more swirl marks. Just let the sander do its job. Slow and steady. As you can see, I can control it with 1 finger. Hardly any pressure. I'm letting the sander do its job. Don't do this. Don't bog it down so that you're stopping the orbit. That's how you're going to get the swirl marks. Okay? Nice and easy. Slow and steady. I know it's not fun. It's tedious. And anytime I go against the grain, when I know I'm going to do my final pass, I always go with the grain. And that's it. I'm going to repeat this process now through all the grits. And as you can see, like this canister got all the dust. There wasn't any dust shooting up anywhere. It's a great little sander. So that's the key. Slow, steady, even pressure. Let the sander do its job and go through the grits. If you do that, your surfaces are going to come out awesome. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and we're going to see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.